is the Big O Show. This 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 is the Big O Show.
There's just one place to celebrate a happy new model year. Acura of Pembroke Pines. Drive away in a new ZDX. Only $459 a month at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
When presenting an award to an employee, athlete, executive, or fantasy GM, make sure you call Orvieto's Awards and More. For 35 years, these custom award specialists have been providing plaques, trophies, custom framing, while providing state-of-the-art laser and computerized engraving, UV printing, and glass crystal etching. They do all their engraving and printing in-house for quality control. Call Charles at 305-949-8098 or visit them at orvietosawards.com. Orvieto's Awards and More, where recognition is rewarding.
When it comes to your smile, confidence is so important. At Moody S Dental, they provide the services to get your smile back. This family-run practice prides itself by offering the latest technology to give your family the best experience possible. Moody S Dental has been in business for over 30 years with offices in Hialeah and Plantation. They accept most major dental insurances. They provide free new patient exams, 20% off select treatments. To qualify, please follow us on Instagram at moodys.dental. Moody S Dental has been in business for over 30 years. To schedule an appointment in Hialeah, call 305-821-0231 and Plantation 954-692-6825. From Invisaligns, dental implants, same-day crowns, and the preventative care and preservation to get your smile back. Go to moodysdental.com to find out more and tell them Big O sent you.
There's just one place to celebrate a happy new model year. Acura of Pembroke Pines. Take $10,000 off a 2025 MDX at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
It starts every morning before the sun comes up. Projects are laid out. Plans are made. Equipment is fueled and loaded with inventory to handle all service requests. Orders are given to an army of skilled landscape maintenance professionals, certified arbor trimmers, irrigation technicians, and licensed pest management experts who fan out to communities and businesses all over South Florida. Experienced, on time, and dependable. Our staff is fully trained, licensed, and insured. Contact us by phone, email, social media, or through our website to answer all your landscape questions. We are Cutter's Edge. Total Landscape Solutions.
The Sultan's choice for excitement and a caravan of savings awaits at Toyota of Hollywood. Your wish for savings has been granted with discounts of up to $4,500. Take a magic carpet ride in a Toyota Corolla, not $24,000, $19,988. Step into our Grand Bazaar where you'll find epic savings at the #1 volume Toyota dealer, Toyota of Hollywood, on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
After 40 years, the Big Cheese Miami is still producing great Italian food. They started in 1984. Since then, they've been winning awards while being voted the best inexpensive Italian restaurant in Miami. Visit them for great food, amazing service. Witness the decades of Cane's memories. The walls are like a Miami Hurricanes Hall of Fame. The Big Cheese delivers anything on its menu or party platter menu to your home, office, or even a park for a picnic. Located at 8080 Southwest 67th Avenue, Miami. Call 305-662-6855. TheBigCheeseMiami.com, where they serve large portions at family prices.
Oh, Sam, not again.
Initiating Daddy's back.
Go!
Set the rhythm of your smart home with Sloman Shield Blink, the new integrated smart home platform that automates your life just the way you want it. Sloman Shield Blink, be the maestro of your own home.
If you're looking to take your home or business to the next level, then RM Contractors can assist you. RM specializes in new residential turnkey, new commercial turnkey, home and office remodeling. Call them for free estimates. Serving all of South Florida, licensed and insured. Call Ray, 305-345-3649. You work hard to create the perfect atmosphere. You dream it, we'll build it. RM Contractors, 305-345-3649. Or Instagram at RMC Fisher Island.
Before you buy or lease a Honda, Volkswagen, Hyundai, or any other model, compare Subaru, rated #1 in safety at Subaru of Pembroke Pines. Buy with 0.9% financing, 0 down. Forester with symmetrical all-wheel drive, $259 a month. Crosstrek with symmetrical all-wheel drive, $239 a month. During the Subaru A Lot to Love event at Subaru of Pembroke Pines, South Florida's #1 volume Subaru retailer.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
Hi, this is Jeff Welt from Welt & Rayom. Dan and I have been in business together for over 22 years. We're not your typical lawyers. When Dan's not working in the office, he's flying his stunt plane. When I'm not in the office, I'm either getting tattooed, bowling, riding a motorcycle, or going to concerts. We might not be your typical attorneys, but we are aggressive attorneys, and we'll do whatever it takes to get you what you deserve. Consultations are always free. Call us anytime, 24/7.
Welt & Rayom can help.
There's just one place to celebrate a happy new model year. Acura of Pembroke Pines. Drive away in a new ADX. Only $299 a month at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
The viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyAccess.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website.
Good morning, one and all. Hope you all are doing well out there on a beautiful Wednesday, October 29th, 2025. Welcome aboard. It is day number 18,915 since the Miami Dolphins lifted the Vince Lombardi Trophy. It is day number 8,699 since the Miami Hurricanes were national champions, and day number 128. Bitcoin above $100,000. Welcome aboard on a morning where we're wondering, what are we watching? What are we watching? Are you telling me this is real? Are you tricking me? As the old commercial would say, is it real? Is it Memorex? Is it the beginning of the season? Is it just an upstart team? What are we watching with the Miami Heat? Is the question. We're watching a team that started 3-1, which in the NBA, that means nothing. We are watching a team that is red hot to start off the season, which in the NBA, it means nothing. But you start thinking about Eric Spoelstra, and well, at least I know, he's the best coach in the world, and we've watched him do some incredible things throughout his tenure. And he has been able to find a way to blend people together, create chemistry, make everybody better along the way. And we're wondering, they started off without their best shooter and they're playing well. And they beat some good teams. Then they're suffering a couple of extra injuries. And, not that Charlotte is a great team or anything, but this is the kind of game that the Miami Heat would flop or barely win or barely lose or something. And they were in control without their current best scorer in Norman Powell. So it's really, really weird what's going on with the Heat. And, first of all, let me start off. We always like talking about a key decision in the game. Let's talk about that right now. Let's talk about our Sloman's key decision of the game.
What was the deciding moment? Who made the right move? Where did the game change? It's the Sloman's key decision of the game. Make the smart decision to protect your home and family by calling Sloman's at 1-800-ALARM-ME, serving Americans for nearly 100 years. Here's our Sloman's key decision of the game.
All right. So we're looking at this, and the key decision of the game happened in the offseason. Somehow or another, Eric Spoelstra looked at his talent and said, this is the way we've got to play with this kind of pace, putting up shots. It reminds me of Paul Westphal. Was it Westphal or Westhead? West Paul, right? I think it was, or West Head. No, West Paul, right? Out west, and he ended up being the Lakers coach too. And when he was in college, or in with and after going to the Lakers, but when he was in college, he had like the fastest offense, in college basketball. And so West Paul ran the same offense, with the Lakers. And not that it necessarily had a long shelf life there or whatever, but my point is he kind of freaked people out with that style of offense, right? And others have done their ways of doing it over the years. And here is Spo saying, okay, well, we have a certain type of talent, right? We're not really led by a star, so we've got to be more like a team, spread it out, but we've got to attack, shooting up threes quickly, all that kind of stuff. You're watching it. And so right now the Heat's scoring is number 1 in the NBA at 131.5 points. They're number 3 in assists at 29.8 team ball. 3-point percentage, they're third at 40.8. Okay. They're 9th in rebounding. I was talking with Ira about this yesterday. And one of the things I've noticed in the first few games is that there's a lot of team rebounding going on. It's not just one dude or two dudes. No, everybody is contributing, to rebounding. They're number 2 net rating right now in the NBA at 13.7. San Antonio's number 1. And this is, net rating is the 100 defensive possessions, 100 offensive possessions. And they're at 13.7 at number 2 in the NBA. San Antonio's number 1 at 15.6. Denver's 3 all the way down at 8.5. The drop off from 13.7 to 18.5. Number 1 is San Antonio at 15.6. And then it's Miami right behind them at 13.7, which they're still a little behind them. But third place is at 8.5. Their defensive rating, they're number 4 in the NBA right now at 106.4. OKC is number 1 at 103.6. So it's not like this huge, disparity between number 1 and number 4. Okay. Their bench points, their points per game, they're number 1 in the NBA. Their net rating off the bench, they're number 2 in the NBA. Again, it's only 4 games. So we have to see them, extended period of time, and we'll find out. But shit, you're without Tyler, you're without Norman Powell, you're without Yakuchonis. So not that Yakuchonis is a loss, but at least Powell and Hero are. I mean, that's Powell and Hero are 50 points. It's 50 points. Or 45 if you want to be conservative. 22.5 points each or something, whatever you want. But it's a lot of points that you're leaving off the team, and somehow or another you scored 144 yesterday. So I didn't see this coming. I told you guys, I think this is a below 40 win team. I don't think this was going to be a good team, but their efficiency, Jaime Jaquez is playing out of his mind. Bam had an efficient game yesterday. He's scored some in the last couple of games, but it wasn't necessarily the most efficient because he's a big man that misses a lot of bunnies. Yesterday he didn't miss that many, so that was good. Wiggins produced. Larson, how about that pass he put yesterday? Just you're getting contributions from everyone. And so everyone is playing way better, and collectively they are dangerous right now. It's a lot of fun. I did not see this coming, and I know Spo is great, but I have a hard time demanding chicken salad from chicken shit. It's not fair to him, and he continues to marvel as a coach. That's why he's the best coach in town, and it's not even close. Because he's not working with the stars that Paul Maurice is working with. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't have one of those guys on this team. And, who knows what happens from here on out. But we've talked about this, we need one of those young guys to explode and become, kind of a guy. I don't know who it's going to be, but early on right now, Jaime Jaquez is one of those guys that wants to be a guy. You know what I mean? And that was fun. He scored 28 points yesterday, 2 of 4 from 3-point range. That's really nice to see that he's getting the 3-point shot. But the key decision of the game happened in the offseason when Spo looked at his talent and he had a vision of how they could play. And I got to tell you, I was blind as a bat because I didn't see it. Okay, and maybe in the end it'll play out that way, and the heat will die out a little bit. And this is just, they're maybe, this is the other factor. I don't want to throw cold water on this, but it's a long season. This also could be that they are a much better franchise than most, so they prepare their people, so they're better prepared to start the season off and running, whereas some teams kind of gradually get into the season as it goes on and they get better and better. It's kind of like the bubble thing. When the bubble thing happened, the Heat franchise was better prepared for that scenario because the team and the coaching staff took it serious and got their guys focused for what was coming, and then they bought into it. So this could be the same thing as the bubble year, where they got their guys focused. Hey, guys, we're not a superstar-led team. We've got to play together, and everybody has bought in. Question is, how long can this chain stay together like the way it is right now, where they're playing so well amongst each other? And as I showed you, it's bench and starters. The flow is there. There is synergy in between everything going on. Eric Spoelstra, man, it's like getting Shield Link. You're going to be the Spo of your home when you call our friends at 1-800-ALARM-ME, because you're going to feel like Spo. You got your Shield Link. You can control the thermostat, right? Cool down the home, warm it up depending on where you live, switch the lights on and off. You're going to get there a little late. You want to turn on the driveway lights. You want to turn on maybe the kitchen lights so it kind of looks like there's some action going on. You can check the live camera feeds. You can do what I do. We've got 4 dogs. They're roaming the house. We got 2 big dogs. They're roaming the house. And so I need to see what's going on. I got to make sure the dogs are fine and everybody's healthy and all that good stuff. So all that kind of stuff, you can set your routines. You can do all of that right from there. And Shield Link allows you to do that. Check it out, 1-800-ALARM-ME. Sloman's been protecting Americans for over 100 years now. We're like in 14 different states. Tell them that Big O sent you. Support the great sponsors that support us. Sloman's Home Shield. Shield Link, baby. 1-800-ALARM-ME. And I got to go with Spo. There's no doubt that was the key decision of the game.
Our key decision of the game is brought to you by Sloman's Home Shield. When you want to protect your home, family, or business, call Sloman's at 1-800-ALARM-ME.
All right. He is a marvel. He continues to just freak me out. He is, God, he's the best coach in town, dude. And if he ever gets to another one, we'll probably have to, just say he's the best coach in the history of South Florida sports. Because he's right up there with Shula, dude. He's right up there with Shula. And sometimes people think it's blasphemous to say. I don't. I watched this man do a lot of Shula shit in basketball. And, and he did stuff like what Shula did, like in 82, when you didn't look like you should be in the Super Bowl, and you did. And you got there, So stuff like that, he's done stuff like that. To me, that guy is, I'm watching that last night and I'm like, wow. Just how is it that, you're coaching and you're getting them with this kind of synergy together? That was fun, man. That was fun. And I don't have a lot of respect for the Hornets, but it's the Heat that I worry about, because we've seen them flop in these kind of games, and it's just, man, we are watching We are watching just focus by this team. Really good. Really good stuff. Don't forget, folks, to smash the hell out of the like button. All right. We need that so we can get the algorithms going out there. We already got 51 likes. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's get it over. Let's get it to the 100 mark. We're almost at the 100 mark watching right now as it is here in the morning. And thank you all out there. Good morning to all. David Furonis will join us. We'll talk a little Miami Dolphins with him. Ravens, the line is up to 8. I'm drinking the Kool-Aid. I like the Dolphins as the dog. I'm not saying they're going to win, but I'm just saying if I get the team from last week or 4 days ago, I think they could stay in the game, maybe even win it, but definitely within the 8 points. I like the hook of 7.5. Now you're going to give me a whole point, 8. Now you got to beat me by 9 in order for me to lose. I'm starting to like this line a lot more. Alexis says Larson looks legit. Well, I've been thinking he's legit for a while, dude. To me, Larson has it. So, Dolphin Dave is in the house. Looking forward to Thursday. Jeff in Long Island, NorCal in. I don't know if they can do it again, but either way. You went to Atlanta. That's right. So you did have a great road trip. And that didn't look like it was going to be a good road trip. Alexis Palenzuela, One-Eyed Jack, Stephen Harris, TJ Superman, Kosa, John Esslinger, Josh, Sweet Baby Ray. Yes, it does further validate the greatness of Spo. Yes. He's the best, bro. So that's why I harp on Spo more than anything else in that organization. He makes everything better than what it really is. It really does. I don't think any other coach gets more out of the talent they've given him the last 10 years. Nobody. Now Popovich, he's proven that to me already in San Antonio before he had to retire, of course. Nyborg, Jay Gelfin is in the house. Says Bam is playing like he's played back in every criticism about him, efficient shooting. Well, today he wasn't. The other night he wasn't efficient, and the other night when he started off really hot, then the second half So it's one of those where I'm never going to be there with Bam on the offensive. He's not that guy. He's a complimentary guy playing off of everybody else. But he's not a dog that is going to bring it every single night. I'm not buying any of that yet. Not even close. He's too passive still. Thomas Reichert, he needs to hang out a lot. Maybe Asia will rub off on him. But he doesn't have half of Asia's dog. Thomas Reichert, Big Mouth Ralph in the house. Walter Olivares, Luis Notare, Juan Rosa, Daniel Marquez, Skylar Tipton. Let's see. Ryan C. Finns fan. Ocala Joe. Ty in the Bronx. Ty! Your boy. Jordan Love. Ty was all over Jordan Love back in the day. When I was doing Mad Dog Radio, that's where Ty would catch me. And I remember in that draft, was it Miami was like 5 or something like that, or right? And he wanted to take Jordan Love. He wanted Jordan Love. Let's see, John Padilla. I told him Jordan Love is still too raw. Take him later in the first round, not that early. Remember that, Ty? Let's see, John Padilla, Kevin, Eddie Lepp, Stoney Stanley, Juan Mendoza. Out of the 14 players that played last night, 13 of our guys scored. Coach Spo is the best coach in basketball in the world. Oh, yeah. It's not even close. Yeah. Lisa, morning. She's probably a little disappointed, but the Blue Jays are worthy. That is the good thing. That you're watching a 2-2. Now we're down to a 3-game set. I watched that last night. The Toronto Blue Jays. I know you don't want to hear this, Lisa, but they showed some character, man, coming back to win that game. And the matchup with Vladdy Jr. and Ohtani, and obviously he got the best of him. But then on the rematch, then Ohtani got him back. That was good. That was good. But Ohtani did all right. He just made a couple of mistakes, and you got to give Toronto. Sometimes you got to tip your hat to the other team, And we're watching a great World Series. And that's really all that matters. I know for Lisa, she's a Dodgers fan. My wife, she's a Dodgers fan. So they're rooting for the Dodgers. But overall, as fans, it's a good series. I'm rooting for the Dodgers, by the way, because my wife is a Dodgers fan. So her and her dad used to watch Dodger games all the time whenever they could watch. And so when the old man was around, my wife and my dad, that was the sport that they would watch together, which was baseball. And it was usually the Dodgers that they were watching, Let's see, what else do we have here? Gabriel Perez, Lenny Pena. Spo is in his bag. He's getting the most out of the roster that doesn't have one superstar. Amazing work, Spo, coach of the year. Yes, no doubt about that. Yeah, Jamie did dunk. That was nice. And by the way, the best part about it, when he fell and he landed, he was able to land on the side. That's why he got up, and he's young too. But let me tell you, if he lands flat on his back and he has a chance of also hitting his head and all that, that would have been bad. But at that moment, the other thing that happened in that game that I didn't understand was Drew. I think, did you watch the game, Sean? Okay. Well, to me, Drew suffered a concussion or possible concussion. When he got hit in that jaw and you watch him, he went down, dude. And then he popped, back up again. He was kind of like shaking it off and all that. That seemed to me like a concussion-like type of thing. That's just me, but I don't know if anybody caught that shit last night. But when I saw Drew get hit like that and he went down, and the way he went down, like he got like when he got clocked, he like got clocked, rocked, and sat down, and then he had to stay down and kind of shake it off a little bit. And he just kept playing. And there was a part of me that was like, don't you pull him at that moment and just make sure that he's good? You know what I mean? And especially Drew's been through already several injuries. You might want to look out for him a little bit, but they just let it go. And I didn't follow up. I don't know if anybody followed up or anything like that, or, it's the NBA. Sweep under the rug. Green, what was he high on in that hotel? Do we know? But what happened in that hotel? What was he high on? How come we never found out? Dun, dun, dun. All right. Anyway, let's see. What else do we have here? Jamie had jet fuel instead of cafecito last night. Juan says, I'm not a gambling or financial expert, but the Heat money line cashed for me yesterday, and Dolphins plus 8.5 is going to cash tomorrow. I do like it, bro. I like the Dolphins plus the number. And good job by you, Juan, taking the game yesterday. Frankie says, Big O, if you had to dress up for Halloween, what would you dress up as? Yeah, my wife is trying to get me to dress up Saturday when I go to the soccer game because it's a Halloween thing. But I told her, no, there's no shot I'm doing it. Because it is costumes over there at the stadium. You can take a costume. They also, by the way, are collecting food. So, toys, toy drive. So bring an unwrapped toy if you're going to the Fort Lauderdale United game against Brooklyn FC on Saturday. We will be taking toys ourselves. So for the toy drive that they'll be collecting. So if you are going to the Fort Lauderdale United, make sure you bring a toy, and that's cool. Or even if you can't go to the game, but you could swing by there in Davie and drop off a toy for the toy drive, that would be nice also, man. There's a lot of kids that they're not gonna have this kind of holidays that we can provide sometimes for our kids. You know what I mean? So it's always good to do our part if we can to help out. And Fort Lauderdale United is having a beautiful toy drive. So if you can, drop off a toy. I'm sure if you go by their offices today or tomorrow, if you can't go to the game and you want to drop off a toy, they'll accept it too. You know what I mean? Not that they told me to do that, but I'm just saying they're good enough people that they'll accept it, I'm sure. But if you're going on game day on Saturday, we'll be there broadcasting live from 4:30 to 6:30 on Saturday. All right. We will have it for you. And by the way, Sean, isn't that kind of like a post-game show also / Hurricanes post-game show? Right? It's a noon game, isn't it? So our Hurricanes post-game show, pre-game, Fort Lauderdale United, it'll be like a sports talk. It'll be a regular show, but we'll have Manny on, obviously, and we'll have some guests on. So we'll have a good time, man. We'll have a good time on Saturday. And we'll check it out. We'll be watching. I'm sure Sean and I will watch the game because where they put us, we're in a nice suite with the TV and all that kind of stuff. So we'll be able to watch the game while we're doing the show and preparing for it. So looking forward to it. So Saturday, make sure you tune in at 4:30, and we'll start our Canes post game wrap up for you, and at the same time get you ready for the Fort Lauderdale United, and talking, of course, Heat or Panthers or all that good stuff. And probably still on Saturday, we'll be still kind of happy about the Dolphins win over the Ravens. So that'll be cool. I like that. Gus 1388 is in the house. Lisa says they showed way more character than my boys. They are winning with small ball, not trying to hit home runs every time. Jays are a good club, but they have to win that way, Lisa. They don't have the lineup that the Dodgers have. The Dodgers, it's just ridiculous. It's just ridiculous, the lineup that the Dodgers have, It's just monstrous, But yeah, the Jays are playing the kind of baseball they have to play. But I give them a lot of credit, man. At least as a fan, I know you want to watch a 4-0 Dodgers sweep. I get that. But as a fan, I'm watching a good series. I can't complain. Jamie Zorria in San Jose. Hoping everybody has a great week. And he's smashing it. And the like button too. Smash that like button, baby. Let's go. Let's get it to 100. Big O, you had mentioned that we needed one of these young guys to pop up. So far, that guy has been Triple J. He's been playing really well. Very efficient game last night. 28 points, 14 shots, and 2 of 4 from three-point range. The dunk was awesome. He is playing out of his mind. Good for him because, he had a rough year last year, and he bounced back. And I think all of us really like Triple J. He was kind of lost in the shuffle and the injuries last year and all that. So I'm glad that he's able to bounce back. I'm just glad that the whole team is playing with this fire and they're playing together. And to start off, and let me tell you something. If you're a Heat team that doesn't have stars, you have to start off this way. You have to pile on the wins. You have to put yourself in a driver's seat. And and listen, the other thing that I love is that somehow or another they're setting the pace in the games because of that pace that they're running. It's pretty cool, man. It's pretty cool. It's really fun. Let's see. Big O says Finn's Attic in East 12 also did a toy drive. So if you're going to Finn's Ravens, bring an unwrapped gift and see Jeff, Chucky, or Gloria in East 12 Orange Lot before the game. There you go. There you go. Saturday can also be a pre-party for Sean's birthday. That's right. It's your birthday on Saturday, Sean? Wait a minute. Is it?
Sunday.
Oh, it's Sunday. Okay. Yeah, the 2nd. Okay. All right. So, yeah, I guess we could celebrate the Well, no, we could do it on Sunday. Why are we doing pre? We'll do it on the same day on Sunday. You know? Oh no, we're not on Sunday because we're on Thursday. That's right. Thank
No
God.
game this Sunday.
Off. Thank the Lord I got a Sunday off, man. That is good. All right, let's talk a little Miami Dolphins with the one and only David Furones and our Welt and Rheum Miami Dolphins report.
All rise, football fans, as the Welt and Rheum Miami Dolphins report with David Furones is in session.
Welton Rayom has more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes. They are committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. Call them for a free consultation. 954-966-4646. Here's Miami Dolphins insider David Furones.
All right. How you doing, my brother? I was going to do this interview in a visor, but I don't know if you were going to be comfortable with it, you know?
Yeah, I mean, maybe you throw for 4 touchdowns. Maybe you make 4 great points if you do the interview in a visor. But
I actually, bullshit aside of the story, overall, I like QBs to wear visors because it kind of hides your eyes a little bit, and the DBs can't read it nearly as much. And you can fake them out more with looks because they don't really know what you're looking at. You could look this way and still be looking that way, and they can't tell with the visor. And so it's kind of it gives you an advantage. And I don't know why all QBs don't wear visors, you know, in the end. You know what I'm saying? So maybe it becomes a blessing in disguise for him because like Lamar has worn a visor forever. He's worn them for a while now. Several quarterbacks wear visors. I think it's super smart to wear visors.
Yeah, absolutely. You can manipulate more with the head movements instead. And yeah, you can look out of your periphery. Now, maybe a lot of quarterbacks don't want to be adding that to all their other responsibilities. Like, okay, let me make sure my head is like this, but my eyes are really here, you know, type of thing. For some guys, maybe it makes it more difficult for them to process everything that they do already have to process. You know,
not for him, because he's he's an anticipatory thrower. And by the way, remember, you're also practicing that during the week. Yes. So you're practicing the act of it, and you already know the play because you're already, going over it over and over again in practice. So it's different for the quarterback that is doing that. So for me, if I'm looking at it strategically, I'm actually glad he got whatever the hell he got with his eye, because it's not pink eye, because it's nobody gets pink eye where your eye swells up all over the place. Pink eye is just pink, and that's it. I've never seen they never told you what it was, right? You guys never
no. Yeah, they've kept that under wraps. When he was asked yesterday, then he kind of just said, no, we haven't really figured it out. But I feel like that was more so
they figured it out.
Yeah, right. I feel like that was more so just didn't want it out there. So that's what he said.
Again, stop with the lies. Guys, there's HIPAA laws. We don't want to talk about it. Okay, it's over. That's it. Well, come on, bro. We know you figured it out. It's a quarterback. You guys got the top doctors in the world. You figured out. You know what the hell happened. Something happened. I mean, he had a reaction to something. You know what I mean? And whatever it is, I'm glad, because I think it leads to a positive for him when it's all said and done.
It was remarkable how that worked out, and he described the experience first as like one of the worst experiences he's ever gone through. Imagine just you wake up and then you don't have vision out of one of your eyes because it's just so swollen around you. But like you said, it turned out to work out pretty well for him, coming back from back-to-back 3 interception games to have 4 touchdowns, no interceptions, and really in a well-rounded effort.
I mean, think about it. This kid got drafted to a coach that hated him and was trying to sabotage his career by starting him against the Rams. And then he gets another coach that's, stubborn and doesn't know how to run an offense around the guy. And it took him 4 years to actually run the offense that you're supposed to run around a quarterback like Tua. These are things, and it's frustrating for him. Everything else happens to him, whether it's Jesse Davis, whatever it is. He's the guy that ends up suffering from all this crap because he really hasn't had like what you see down in Miami at that arena, where there's a coach that knows how to compliment all his players one way or another. That's what this coach hasn't been able to do. And so that leads me to this question, because I know you were saying it because everybody else was saying it. Okay, who the hell are these Dolphins? And he committed to the run, and he committed to Ollie, and he even brought in Wright, and he started using the big receiver and all that kind of stuff. And all of a sudden you're going, okay, well, can he do it for the second half? Because he's going to screw it up. He's going to go back to doing everything else. And now we're thinking, okay, can he do it again against the Ravens on Thursday? Because he's never run an actual real offense since he's been here. So continue running this offense.
Yeah, that's the hope, right? But now I do want to contend to one point you made there that it took 4 years. I feel like that this game was more of a throwback to 2022 and 2023. So I feel like that Mike has done this with his quarterback. It's just a matter of that they got away from it and obviously lost a lot of time with him last year, and this year has really gotten away from it. What do you say?
Where was Ollie Gordon?
Oh no, yeah, so
Bubba, there was no power running game. There's never been a power running game here, and they brought in a power running game this week. And he had a Chris Brooks a couple of years ago, and he said, "Yeah, I don't need him. I don't need him." And he had another big. Wasn't there another big back before that also?
Well, so Jeff Wilson would take on that role, and
right.
Which they got midway through the 2022 season in a trade. Because remember, at first it was going to be Raheem Mostert and Chase Edmonds, and those were both kind of like, Chase Edmonds more like speedy or shifty, I should say. Raheem Mostert very speedy, but Raheem Mostert low key though for his size could run powerful. He could break tackles.
He's not a power back.
No, true, yeah, not that. Yeah. He scored all his touchdowns in 2023 too.
And God bless Achan.
Yeah,
he wants to be a power back too, and he's not a power back. You know what I'm saying?
That was the quote from Tyreek in training camp or OTAs, whatever it was. Yeah,
to me, this is what we needed to see. And let me tell you, there's still an element missing, which is the tight end. Got to get the tight end. The Julian Hill injury really becomes enormous because you expect Darren Waller to get injured. You expect him to not be consistent. That's kind of what his MO has been. And he's 33 years old, dude. But Julian Hill came around already. He was this is the Julian Hill we had not seen the first 2 years. This is a guy that was playing consistent. This is a guy that really Tua needs right now, because this offense, one of the things that you want to also do in any offense, dude, you got to have a tight end. And that's the only element that's kind of missing right now. On Thursday, you're going to face an offense that has two tight ends.
Yep. And it was an element that was getting in there with Darren Waller. Now, granted, it would be wide swings of whether he was getting targeted or not, but he was getting into the end zone. What was it, 4 times in his 3 games?
Yes.
Even one of those, right? He was barely getting targeted in that Chargers game and ended up in the end zone toward the end. Wide open too, by the way, because I guess the Chargers they're not throwing to him. Yeah.
Again, this is why he's a remedial coach. You should have an active tight end all the time in your offense, and he doesn't. And the fact that he actually didn't have – look, what he did in those 2 weeks was disgusting. He took a 17-0 lead by using Waller, and in the second half, his sorry ass couldn't get Waller the ball, and they lost. And then the week after, he doesn't use Waller the entire time except for as a decoy, and he then uses him at the end where he was open all by himself, and you lost by 2 points when you didn't use him the entire game. That's why, to me, Mike McDaniel constantly proves to me that he is stubborn, ignorant, just doesn't change, dude. And that's why what he did last week was a marvel. But my problem is I can't trust you to continue to do this. I can trust the guy in Miami. He knows what the hell he's doing over there with the Miami Heat. You know what I mean? When he figures shit out, he knows what to do. This guy, you know, it's just something that drives me crazy. And if I don't see this offense against Baltimore on Thursday, you know, he's lucky I'm not the owner, bro. He's just lucky I'm not the owner. Seriously.
We all know that, yeah.
I would fry this guy, bro. I would fry this guy in public. I really would. I would sizzle this son of a bitch because he is such a crap coach. And he has all the tools to be a good coach. Look at that. Look at what he did on Sunday. That's how you call a game. For the first time, he called the big boys game instead of some stupid video game that he's constantly trying to call. And by the way, the video game offense that he's trying to run, the quarterback that you need for that, it's this guy. That's what you need. When you have a freak like that, you can get away with that. Not that you'll win, but you still need a freak like that. That's not who Tua is. You need this kind of an offense. And so that's my problem with him. Like, am I going to see this on Thursday is what I need to see. I need to know.
And Big O, we all know that if you were the owner, you would have moved long ago. But now I think a lot of people with even a lot more patience than you would have been done the week before against Cleveland. And I know, I mean, I was saying it. I think, probably most media pundits at that point would say, all right, like you are now 1-6 and you just got blown out by the Cleveland Browns, who are supposed to be even worse than you are. And still this happens in sort of this must win if you're trying to make anything out of the season. And then you get blown out. What was the score there? 31-6. I think a lot of people would have been done there. And then now this team that showed up, which it was astonishing that the game was called this way and that they were as effective on the ground and then letting Tua be efficient as a byproduct of using the run game and stopping the run finally against Bijan Robinson and a very difficult rushing offense. I feel like that was the team that a lot of us who, like myself, like my colleague Chris Perkins and others, saw going like 9-8 this year. And obviously that's going to be really not really in the cards the rest of the way. Even if there is this midseason turnaround, it's going to be highly unlikely. But just that was kind of the team you figured, could go and go against a team like Atlanta, which has some talent, but is a 500 team. They were 3-3 going in. You know, it's not like they're any kind of world beaters, and go and just play that type of game where you go in there and you win that game because you have these elements, because you should be able to stop the run with that front seven, which we perceived as a strength going into the season, because you invested in adding to the run game, and that you should stick with that and be able to use it, and then have the pass game turn into a complement for it. So that was kind of what we envisioned when we thought, okay, maybe like 8-9 wins, and they could be in the mix late in the season for a playoff berth. So it's frustrating that it only shows up and it only surfaces now after the team reached such a low of being 1-6.
Do you think you know how I feel about the Ravens? If you stop the run, you can beat them. Because they're not going to sit there and beat you with the pass. Lamar's not a guy that can live in the pocket. He has to run in order to be effective as a passer also. So for me, if you can stop Henry and Lamar and shut them down and slow them down, and by the way, if you do anything like you did last week, you take a lead on that offense is cooked, because it can only run in order to get back, and that's a lot harder to do. Can this front seven repeat the effort it made against Bijan and stop these two guys now? Because it's not one guy, it's two freaking guys you got to stop, unfortunately.
Yeah, there's that element. And then it's just that it's a different challenge to bring down Derrick Henry, the 250-something pound beast. As opposed to Bijan, who can, kind of house anything from anywhere. And shoot, even Derrick Henry can do the same thing at his size. He can go and reel off the 80, 90-yard run. And you're like, how is he that big? Outrunning everyone.
Has no threat opposite of him. That's
the other thing.
Ravens. These two can play off of each other, and you're like a linebacker deciding who has it. And if you just make one wrong move one way and Lamar went that way and you thought it was Derek, you're done, You're done. That one step, you're done. That's it. It's over.
Yeah, no, a read option between these two is just deadly, especially if it creates hesitation. Then either the power of Derrick Henry is coming at you and you have hesitated and you're not prepared for the physical force that you'll need to bring him down, or then you think it's Derrick and then and Lamar Jackson is escaping from you because he's just faster than you, and then he gets a step on you for a head start. Because you're hesitating, looking for if Derrick Henry has the ball. So it's a brutal challenge. And I think Lamar being back for the first time in a month, that's going to provide such a spark for this Ravens team. It's always difficult to win on the road on a short week. So that's something that does work in the Dolphins' favor, the preparation that it takes. But I think the Ravens have been preparing now a couple of weeks because Lamar was so close to coming back last week, and then they were still able to get the win against the Bears with Snoop Huntley starting. And then I think they always kind of had the vision of, all right, we are actually preparing not the short week of 3 days in between games for reincorporating Lamar Jackson. It's more of like a week and a half where they had that. And then Snoop kind of helped with the transition since he is, a closer backup to how Lamar plays. And it's, you can run the same offense with him as opposed to Cooper Rush, the 2 games that they did lose before that.
You mean it doesn't make sense to run Huntley and run Tua's offense?
I knew it. I knew you were going to that as soon as I mentioned him in the offense.
Oh, no, I'm just saying because we have such a genius coach here that, he didn't figure it out for several weeks that Huntley couldn't run the offense until, I think it was his 3rd or 4th start of Huntley. It was the 4th start when he injured his shoulder is when he started actually running the offense that Huntley should be running, because our genius coach really has great vision and, he really understands things. Anyway, so do you think the defense, besides stopping the run, have they turned a little bit of a corner?
Yeah, you can look at it that way. I think they definitely are swarming to the football more against the run. That's what they wanted to make sure they did against Bijan Robinson. Did that. It'll take even more of that against Derrick Henry, who is a bigger, more powerful back. So you got to make sure that you're getting multiple tacklers. The first guy probably isn't going to do it on his own. So you definitely need multiple guys, and that's the key in stopping the run. So
hit that damn fumbler. Hit that damn fumbler.
Oh, yeah, it's true. A little bit of a fumble issue surfaced.
That Derrick Henry, he's a fumbler, bro. Come on. He's a fumbler. That's it.
And maybe they can work that in because that was such an emphasis when they got to that Jets game. They hadn't been forcing a turnover all season, and they started forcing fumbles left and right against the Jets that Week 4 Monday night game. Then I think they got a little too fumble forcing happy, because then they weren't wrapping up. Everyone was just punching at the ball, and then they weren't just fundamentally tackling. So I think they had to do this combination of first going to the punching the ball out, then getting back to fundamentals. And so now maybe if they could find a mix, a balance of going for the ball at the right time, which, hey, they did get a fumble out against Robinson between Ife Melifonwu getting it out and Terrell Dotson recovering it. So, maybe if you could go for that, where especially since you need multiple guys to bring Derrick Henry down, if one of them can go for the ball, the other one is making sure to wrap up and keep them there, then that could be something you go for in this game.
All right, I like that. Injury wise, what do we know about this week? Because I know that Julian Hill is probably out. He didn't practice. What else do we know?
Yeah, Julian Hill, and then probably not looking good for Ashton Davis again. Hurt right at the start of that game in Atlanta. So a quadriceps injury for him, and he's a DNP. So probably not for him on a short week. Of course, Storm Duck did go on IR for the season-ending knee injury. So tough to see that for him after he had just come back from an ankle injury. So many expectations for Duck this year as a second-year player, and was expected to be a starter going back to even before Kader Kohu went down, just to be one of the boundary guys. But I do think Rasul Douglas has come along so well at that cornerback spot. So, I like what they're getting out of him. And then, Jack Jones on the other side. It'll be Ethan Bonner again, probably rotating. with him. Maybe Jason Marshall comes back this week. He's been on IR. He was close to returning Sunday, so maybe it was just that, with 2 games in 5 days, they didn't want to go bring him back one game and then have to put so much stress on that hamstring, that soft tissue, to go again on Thursday night. So this might be the game where he comes back and plays some snaps in the nickel. And so Ashton Davis, Julian Hill, probably not. And Bradley Chubb did surface on the injury report this week, shoulder and foot injuries, but all indications seem that he will be able to go on the short rest.
Ravens are favored by 8 now. The over and under is 50.5. I kind of like the Dolphins. I don't know about saying winning, but I kind of like them to keep it close, believe it or not. I'm drinking the Kool-Aid right now. Am I wrong for drinking the Kool-Aid?
I'm with you in terms of the prediction, actually, right there in that soft spot between the Dolphins covering. But my prediction still is that the Ravens will win this game. I mean, I have my score is at 27-23 Baltimore. So that would be a cover for the Dolphins. I think if
they lose, they got to win by 9, bro. I kind of like that. I even like 7.5 because I love the hook. At 6.5 or 7, okay, that kind of gets a little bit, right in that number. But at the 7.5, now it's at 8. I kind of like it for the Dolphins, dude.
Yeah, all they got to do is lose by 1 possession. Like, I mean, when you're playing at home on a Thursday night, it's always tougher for the road teams. And yes, they do get Lamar Jackson back, but it's still his first game back, so you don't know if he's just going to step right in and be the same Lamar Jackson that we've come to know. So, I can see. I still feel the Ravens will end up coming through. But if I'm the Dolphins, I feel like all the word around this matchup is kind of like undermining to them. It's all about how what everyone's talking about nationally is, all right, this is when the Ravens now make their playoff push. If I'm the Dolphins, I'm like, man, we just put together our most complete performance and you're totally passing us off. So, I could see them definitely keeping this game tight, keeping it close. But I do still favor the Ravens to win it in the end.
Do you rewatch the game after?
Boy, this week has been a challenge because it's a short week. So normally I would, but it was especially since I didn't get back that soon on Monday, and then had such a busy Tuesday. Tuesday was like all the media availabilities for the week. So actually, I want to see if I do that later today.
Because we talked about it last week when Tua was talking about the seeing the field and all that kind of stuff. And there was all the stupid reaction from fans and some media members out there who were just overreacting on it, and something that he's talked about. But I'm just wondering if you noticed the difference this week, because, he was fine. But if you noticed the difference in what was in front of him compared to what we've seen in the last couple of weeks.
Sorry, what are you referring to? Like blocking or the
blocking.
Defense?
The blocking.
Oh, yeah.
If you watch it, you watch a lot of times when he's passing, the blocking was exactly the way it's supposed to be. Blocking nice and wide, all opening it up, and then there's passing lanes all over where it doesn't matter your height. You're going to see the whole pattern of everything going on. But if everything's crumbling all in front of you, there's no way you're going to see anything. And that's for a 6-foot quarterback, a 6'1" quarterback, a 5'11" quarterback, a 5'10" quarterback. You've got to be 6'4", 6'5" to see over a crumbling pocket of guys that have come together. But when they block and they fan out like the way they do, watch the tape. You'll see when they block, he's able to see everything. It has nothing to do with height at that point anymore because of the depth and the way it's opened up. He's able to see the whole field, and that's what he's really talking about and trying to explain, that the blocking scheme doesn't allow your quarterback to do his job. But he just can't literally trash the coaches and the players in front of him. So he's got to blame it on him and say, well, I have trouble seeing over and all that kind of stuff. So I just was wondering if when you watch the tape and you look at the blocking and you see the difference this week, when you're able to run the ball, when you're able to loosen up the defense and all that kind of stuff, how it opens everything up.
Yeah. And the key for that is for the interior of the offensive line and it's always a challenge because offensive linemen are reacting to pass rush moves. So obviously the pass rusher can manipulate whether they obstruct a certain passing lane. They don't know what's going on behind them though. So, it's kind of a guessing game, but So it is difficult for the lineman to manipulate that, but if the interior of the offensive line is solid, then at least you're not getting the pressure from up the middle, which think about if someone's coming at you right up front, then that's a greater percentage of the angle, the visions that you have to the rest of the field to make that forward pass. So one of the instances where Tua had to be his worst throw of the day, actually that did happen. Both guards gave up immediate pressure, and it was the one that went high and wide to the inside, actually, to Malik Washington on a third down throw. That was a shallow route. He was wide open right in front of the sticks, could easily catch it, turn around, and pick up the first. And Tua just missed him badly on that play. Both guards, Savaiinaya and Cole Strange, gave up immediate pressure. And not as an excuse for Tua, because I feel like that was still the timing of when he was going to get the ball out right before those guys got to him.
It doesn't help.
But it doesn't help. Yes, right. So it made it a greater challenge, and that was one of the throws he missed. Actually, and it had to be the worst throw he made of the game. Before then, he picked it up and played really sensationally.
Yeah, no, he played well, but again, he played well because everybody did their jobs.
Yes, yep.
That's why he played well. You know what I mean? When I was giving out awards, I didn't even give him an award because I know if you do your job, he'll do his job. That's not a problem. But if you expect him to do everybody else's job, no, dude, that's not who he is. That's not who he is. He's not going to be carrying your offense, bro. That's just not the way it goes. You know, you got to block, you got to run, you got to catch the ball, you need to run the right route. You know, everybody's got to do their job because that's the way football is. There's a synchronization to the whole thing, and when one cog doesn't work, it breaks down the entire thing.
And here's the best example of when that did happen was the touchdown, the fourth one to Ollie Gordon, where the timing of that play was just incredible with Aaron Brewer going out there between the timing of the blocks to protecting Tua, getting the ball out to Ollie Gordon to the left side, Aaron Brewer getting there, Gordon timing his route to work in synchronization with Brewer to cut across him, get the block at the exact point when Gordon was making the catch. That was just phenomenal timing and the way they synced that up. And that was probably the greatest example of exactly what you're saying.
Yeah, but that's football, dude. That's always been football. And the best teams are the ones that are absolutely in tune and they do everything right. And then it makes everybody else's job that much easier. But if you want one guy to carry you, guess what? That team never wins a championship. Ever. It just doesn't exist. Nobody carries anybody to a Super Bowl. Everybody else has to do their job or forget about it. You're going to die along the way because that's what that dude did because he had to carry everything. And that's just that stuff just doesn't work. All right, what do you got going on in the Sentinel so folks can check you out?
Yeah, to that point, that's kind of like the ball that Lamar Jackson has had to play some past years. Josh Allen has to play, and they don't have one yet. So once they get it all together, that's when maybe one of them could go ahead and capture that elusive title. So yeah, I mean, I'm writing going into this game about how actually it's a lot of people are looking at the Ravens as a team that now takes off for this playoff push. But if you're the Dolphins, you got to be looking at it like we just picked up our second win the same way they did as a team that finally put together a complete performance. Granted, different story with them getting Lamar Jackson back. Dolphins are only losing players like Tyreek Hill and such and Darren Waller right now, but still just that's how this team should be looking at it. And then, I have stories on how Frank Smith moved down to the sideline, that whole process, how that helped, the whole Daniel Brunskill thing, if they can do this twice now. So short week, just a lot of jam-packed stories put together before Thursday night tomorrow and more of it today.
Good stuff as always, my brother. Appreciate you. Follow him on Twitter at @DavidFaronis_ and visit our friends at Welton Rayom if you need help. I hope you don't need it, but save the number on that cell phone, 954-966-4646. And if you're dealing with homeowner property damage, condo damage, criminal defense, business owner claims, commercial litigation, personal injury, even bankruptcy, a lot of people are dealing with credit issues. Hey, the consultation is completely free. call our guys at Jeff Welt and Daniel Rayom at Welt and Rayom, 954-966-4646.
This has been another session of the Welton Rayom Miami Dolphins Report with David Furones. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. They handle complex personal injury claims caused by the fault of another in both state and federal courts. They handle auto, trucking, motorcycle slip and fall, and bicycle accidents. Call 954-966-4646. Welton Rayom can help.
All right. Welton Rayom can help. All right. What do we have here? Bitcoin is just hovering above 112,400. All right. The market right now, the Dow is up, 254 points. The S&P is up 16. And the NASDAQ is down barely a point. So there we go. That's what we got going on. All right. What else do we have going on here? Don't forget, please smash the hell out of the like button. Very important. Okay. Tua coming out tomorrow night. The freaks come out at night. A little Houdini. I like it. Let's get to our 3A Graphics sports calendar. Call Alan Blanco. If your company, your corporation, you need custom printing and embroidery, they can help you. 786-618-1443. The Heat. Red hot, dude. Wow. They beat the Hornets last night, 144-117. Yeah, 144-117. Miami is 3-1 now, 2-0 at home. They weren't playing well at home lately, right? Now, and this year, they're playing well at home so far. Jaime Jaquez had 28 points, 2 of 4 from three-point range, 4 rebounds, 5 assists, and a steal. Bam came up with 26 points on an efficient night, man. Okay, which proud of him to be efficient. 10 of 16, 3 of 5 from the field, 6 rebounds, and 2 assists. Wiggins had 21 points, 3 steals. And Pella Larson, 17 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, and a steal. Thursday, 8:30, they're in San Antonio. That should be fun. The Ducks last night got by the Panthers 3-2 in a shootout. Lundell and Reinhart with goals in the loss. Saturday, they take on the Dallas Stars at 6 o'clock. Let's see. Also, game 2 of the MLS first round action is on Saturday. Nashville taking on Inter Miami. Inter on the road this week. See if they can either close out the series and win, or does it come back for game 3 here in Miami? We will find out. Saturday at 7:30, we're going to be live at Beyond Bankcard Field. Fort Lauderdale United hosting Brooklyn FC. There's a toy drive going on, so bring the toys and donate a toy. Remember, it's unwrapped toy, new unwrapped toy here at Beyond Bankcard Field on Saturday. We'll be broadcasting live from 4:30 to 6:30. We'll also recap the Canes win, because it's going to be a Canes win, of course. World Series action. The Blue Jays tied up the series against the Dodgers yesterday with a 6-2 win. Ohtani went 6 innings, 6 hits, 4 earned runs, and 6 Ks in the process. Not good enough, unfortunately. So the series is tied at 2. Tonight is game 5. Blue Jays and Dodgers. And 8 o'clock will be the first pitch. All right. Oh, and Dolphins and Ravens Thursday night. Tomorrow night, Ravens are favored by 8. The over and under is 50.5. Dolphins plus 350 on the money line. The Ravens are minus 450 on the money line. We will have the pre and post game show for you here on the platform. All right. Probably we'll do a short show tomorrow morning. Okay. Don't expect a long show because I've got to do 3 shows tomorrow. So, and then Friday we're on the road. What do you think, Sean? 11 o'clock on Friday? You're good with that? Okay. So Friday we're gonna start at 11 instead of 10. You know, get a little rest from Thursday night. It's the beauty when you run your own show. You get to do what you want. You don't answer to anybody. So we appreciate you all out there. But we'll start at 11 on Friday just to kind of, get that going. That's good. I like it. 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 Good week. Good week here on the program. Man, good stuff. You know what also we got to come up with, because we got to give them a little love here. We need to come up with an MVP. And last night, an MVP rose from the ashes. So let's see who is the Moody's Dental MVP of the night.
Who's last night's MVP? There's only one MVP for your family's dental care.
Moody's Dental. Get your smile back at Moody's Dental. Visit them on Instagram at moodys.dental.
Here's our Moody's Dental MVP of the night.
Dental implants, preventive care, cosmetic surgery. Visit our friends at Moody's Dental in Dade, 305-821-0231. Implantation, 954-692-6825. And last night, man, our Moody's Dental MVP of the night is Jaime Jaquez Jr., Triple J, likable dude, making all kinds of commercials now. And last night, he was stroking it once again. I love the aggressive nature of Jaime Jaquez this year. Whatever it was, however he psyched himself out, whatever he did to prepare himself for this season, he prepared himself in a fashion where he said, I'm going all out. I'm going to lay it all out there. I'm not going to play scared. I'm going to be aggressive as hell, and I'm going to take advantage of it. And that's exactly what he's done. He is playing fearless. That dunk showed you all you need to know about Jaime Jaquez. 28 points, shot 2 of 4 from three-point range, 4 rebounds, 5 assists, a steal, a great all-around game. Really happy to see Jaime Jaquez bounce back, and there's no doubt that I got to give him our Moody's Dental MVP of the night. And, folks, you can get your smile back by visiting our friends at Moody's Dental in Dade or in Broward County, 2 great locations. Also, follow them on Instagram at moodys.dental. You can take advantage there. Sometimes they got some deals going on there, too, at the same time. But my entire family has been going to Moody's for many years now, and you can, too. And it's a family-owned practice. The father has invented tools that dentists use all over the world. So that's all you need to know about Moody's Dental. All right. So visit our friends at Moody's Dental, and Jaime Jaquez is our Moody's Dental MVP of the night.
The MVP of the night is brought to you by Moody's Dental.
From Invisaligns, dental implants, same-day crowns, and the preventative care and preservation to get your smile back. They accept most major dental insurances. They provide free new patient exams. To schedule an appointment in Dade, call 305-821-0231. In Broward, 954-692-6825. Follow them on Instagram at moodys.dental, providing MVP smiles every day of the year.
Friday. Don't forget, folks, Caneswear, proud sponsor of our program. Visit them at 2655 South University Drive in Davie and tell them that we sent you. You will get 10% off when you use our code BIG010 online or in person. And for those of you online, if you order over $99, you will get free shipping. There you go. Caneswear.com. I see my man Jordan Schultz broke the story about Lions pass rusher Aiden Hutchinson agreeing to a 4-year contract extension with the Lions. There you go. All right. Actually, I think it was Mike McCarthy that broke it first. He's the one that broke it. So there you go. Whatever. Doesn't matter to me. But Hutchinson gets a new deal, which, shocker, right? That's a guy you want to keep around for a long time. I'm not surprised with that. All right. What else do we have going on? If you got any questions, don't forget, you can also make a donation to the show, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. You can make a Bitcoin, Ethereum, Chainlink, or Solana donation as always, and we appreciate that. Thank you all out there. All right. Let's hope that McDumdum doesn't revert back to the same old habits and keeps Frank Smith on the sidelines instead of in the booth. I think that made a huge difference. There's no doubt it made a difference. No doubt. Because he's not doing the personal coaching that needs to go on. Let's see. What else do we have? Houdini, Freaks Come Out at Night was 1984. Yes, it was, Devin. When I jack after the start we had in October, I thought we'd have a bigger Bitcoin rip this month. I still think 150 or more by the end of the year. I think we'll be pushing more to 175 by the end of the year and a 200. It's all Trump, dude. It's all Trump. You know, believe it or not, okay, we probably would be ahead if they actually would have put in the other deadbeat, because Powell would have lowered rates a long time ago, since he's political and he swings more to the left and the right. And it's just weird. It's just a weird dynamic. And then Trump doesn't help anybody, because he's constantly throwing the tariffs around, and the tariffs will go. Look at what's gone on with Brazil. He throws a 50% tariff on Brazil only because he doesn't like what they're doing in their politics. Because Bolsonaro was trying to overthrow the government, and they're jailing his ass. And Bolsonaro's a friend of Trump's. So, you know, and because he wants to lay a 50% tariff. You know how much coffee you people buy? Like, I don't drink coffee. I drink cafe a little bit, but I drink very little Cuban coffee. It's not enough, but it's not coming from Brazil. But what my point is, all the Starbucks and all that crap that all at Dunkin', all that stuff you guys drink comes from Brazil. A lot of that coffee. So now you're throwing a 50% tariff because you're hurting people because of some politics that have nothing to do with Americans. Doesn't help. You know what I mean? Now, on the flip side, Trump is empowering Bitcoin to go to levels that you would never think later on. So while he is printing faster than Biden, he took all the everything that Biden was doing. Now he's put steroids on top of it. He's printing even faster. He's added $2 trillion to the debt since the beginning of the year. He's on pace for $10 trillion, which is an absolute record. Which, in the end, with Harris, you would be ahead right now. Bitcoin would be higher right now. But with Trump, what's going to end up happening, I mean, both of them are a disaster. It doesn't really matter. But with Trump, what's going to end up happening is it's going to be a slower start like now, because he's putting in the tariffs and all this kind of crap in place. And all. Once everything settles, do you know how much money he's spending on ICE and everything else, commercials and all these people? Dude, he is spending, they're printing money like it's going out of style. And that's the trick. And that's where Trump's run in office will then surpass Harris, because he's going to spend even more than they are, because he's empowering all his rich friends, you know. And so all these big companies are going to get super rich now, thanks to Trump. And then the poor are going to get really poor, and the middle class are going to get destroyed. That's what's going to end up happening here. There's going to be a much bigger divide. But this whole thing is a transition that's going on. Plus AI is going to cost a lot of people jobs. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on. But on the back end, that's where Bitcoin is just going to start climbing to hundreds of thousands. And by the time Trump's term is over, Bitcoin will be pushing closer to 1 million. And that's because of all the printing that they're doing. France now wants to buy 2% of Bitcoin, which they're not going to be able to, but they're, you know, all these people can just print money and buy an ascending asset with their descending asset, which is $1. So this whole disaster, it would have gone faster if Trump, let's say, makes friends with everybody right from the get-go instead of fighting with the world and the tariffs. if he makes friends with everybody and then goes after China. But the way he's kind of done it, he's pissed everybody else off. And then, he had to then kind of mend fences and try to come up with some kind of deal. And not that they're all happy or anything because they don't want to pay the tariffs. He's the only one that wants these tariffs. He's the only one that thinks that these are good things. You know what I'm saying? So that's what this whole mess is all about, because you have a guy that is so unprepared and has no idea what he's doing, and he's just doing shit on a whim, and it leaves markets dangling like we don't know. There's $7 trillion in the money markets, and they're dying to invest into something, Bitcoin, gold, silver, stocks, whatever it is. But because of the uncertainty, they're waiting and waiting and waiting, because there's a tsunami of money that's about to come in. And then that's why I think Bitcoin now is going to have a surge here on the back end. And then that's when, that's why I tell you, with Harris, you might have been ahead early, but with Trump, you'll get ahead later on the Bitcoin side. So that's just kind of the way it goes. Either way, Dems or Republicans are going to speed up the process of Bitcoin ripping, because both spend like crazy and they don't care about us. You know what I mean? Look what they're doing now. I mean, they're spending like crazy and setting up the rich. So, Amazon gets all the tax breaks from the Trumper. He's there hanging out at his whole thing, and then now he's going to be releasing 30,000 more workers because AI is going to take over. So, the tax breaks, it doesn't mean that you're going to get more employees and more people working. No, actually, less people are going to be working, and he's making more money. So, that's just kind of the way it goes, dude. It is what it is. The rich are going to get filthy rich now. It's already in the process. You know what I mean? It's been happening since the pandemic, So just the way it goes. We're not on that side of the tracks, unfortunately. At least I'm not. I'm on the side that's going to get wiped out. So that's just kind of the way it goes, So I tell you, get a little Bitcoin at least to help yourself, and maybe you'll be able to pay a couple bills like myself. But, it's going to be rough. It's going to be rough for a lot of us, from middle class down. It really is. It really is, folks. But that's kind of the way it goes. Those parties don't care about us. They care only about their personal interests. And it doesn't matter which ones are in charge. So the red's in charge this time. If the blue gets in there next time, which I doubt, actually, because, God, that side is very weak. They can't figure things out. So if they think AOC or Harris or Newsom, they're going to lose again. But that's how it goes. What else do we have? So that's your answer, One-Eyed Jack. What else? After the start we had, Jeff in Long Island says, I agree, Frank Smith had more to do with the offense this past game. Well, in coaching, Mike was able to call a good game, and Frank was able to help set him up for success, because he's not doing the coaching on the sidelines, unfortunately. Fernando Perez says, good morning, everybody. Henry is another player Finns could have signed. Yes, I know. Yes, we all know that. That's the sad part about a Dolphin fan, that the Dolphin fan just lives in what if. That's all. They live in what ifs. There's so little substance to their existence because their team is just pathetic constantly. And that's what we have to live on. What if we did this? What if we drafted this guy? What if we got that guy? What if? It's amazing how much loser talk we're tied to as Dolphin fans. And it is absolute loser talk. Let's get to some birthdays on the 29th. Who was born on October 29th? Let's see. Randy Jackson. Singer, songwriter, 9th child in the Jackson family. There you go. What else do we have? Kevin Dubrow, the late Kevin Dubrow, singer for Quiet Riot. Lost him in 2007 at the age of 52. Roger O'Donnell, keyboardist with The Cure, born in 55. Steve Luscombe from Blancmange. Nice. Living on a ceiling. No more room down there. Let's see. What else? Ricky Reynolds from Black Oak, Arkansas, born in 48. Peter Green, blues rock singer, songwriter, and founder of Fleetwood Mac. He was also a member of John Mayall's Blues Breakers. He replaced Eric Clapton, born in 46. We lost him at the age of 73 in 2020. Denny Lane, who was with the Moody Blues, by the way, born in 1944. And by the way, he was also a member of Wings for their entire run from 71 to 81, playing guitar, bass, keyboards, and singing, backing, and lead vocals, and co-writing with Paul McCartney, including Mall of Kittner. Lane died of lung disease in Naples, Florida on the 5th of December in 2023 at the age of 79. All right, let's go over to other famous people born on the 29th. Remember, if I don't give you their age, that means they are no longer with us, unfortunately. Okay? Let's see. Political cartoonist Bill Malden, born in 1921. Nobel Peace Prize winner Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, born in 38. She is 86 today, still with us. Artist Bob Ross. Where's Bob? Did Bob fall? Bob is back there somewhere. Yeah. Oh, man. I got to fix my Bob. It looks like he fell back there. Anyway, that's what she said. Let's see. What else do we have? Richard Dreyfuss, born in 47. He is 78. Actress Kate Jackson, born in 48. She's 77, one of the angels. Actress Finola Hughes, born in 59. She's 66. Let's see. Actress Winona Ryder, born in 71. She's 54. Gabrielle Union, born in 72. She's 53. Tracy Ellis Ross, the actress, she is 72. Born in 72. She is 53. Actor John Abrams, born in 77. He's 48. And that is it. Sean Stanley, do you have wrestlers born on this date?
Yes, sir, we do. Danilo Amphibio turns 38. Carmen Petrovic is 30. The great Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff was born on this date in 1949. And the new NXT Women's World Heavyweight Champion, Tatum Paxley, she turns 29 on October 29th, 2025.
All right. Let's move over to music history. What happened today in music history? In 1970, Neil Diamond received the gold record for Crackin' Rosie, his first number one hit on the Billboard Hot 100, his third to sell 1 million copies. In 82 on this date, Pat Benatar released her fourth studio album, Get Nervous. It features the singles, We're Running with the Shadows of the Night, It's a Little Too Little, It's a Little Too Late, and Looking for a Stranger, and Anxiety. Let's see what else. In 83 on this date, The Dark Side of the Moon, the album by Pink Floyd, won the distinction of remaining on the album charts for the longest period in history when it reached a total of 491 weeks on the Billboard Hot 200, I think it is, Hot 100. The Dark Side of the Moon produced 2 singles, Money and Us and Them, and ended up remaining on the charts for 741 weeks from 1973 until 1988, with an estimated sales of over $45 million. It's Pink Floyd's best-selling album and one of the best-selling worldwide. Let's see. In 83, Islands in the Stream with Dolly Parton and Kenny Rogers went number 1 on the U.S. singles charts. The song was written by the Bee Gees and co-produced by Barry Gibb. In, let's see, in 96, Luscious Jackson released her second studio album, Fever In, Fever Out, and it features the singles Naked Eye and Under Your Skin. In 96, Axl Rose announced that Slash is no longer a member of Guns N' Roses. Slash, former Slash's Snake Pit and Velvet Revolver, while Axe keeps going with GNR, going with a variety of new faces. In 2001, U2 performed for the first time on The Late Show with David Letterman. In, let's see, 2014, Phil Collins handed over his large collection of Alamo memorabilia to a Texas museum, calling the donation the end of a 6-decade journey. I'm 64, he said, of his fascination with the 1836 battle. When I was 5 or 6 years old, this thing began. Collins' collection included a fingered leather pouch used by Davy Crockett and Jim Bowie's legendary knife. How about that? Let me see if there's any birthdays. Sometimes there's 1 or 2 that wasn't on the other list. Let's see. I say sometimes. And this wasn't one of them. And that's what happened today in music history. By the way, the Violent Femmes have announced a tour, and you lucky bastards in California will get to see them March 1st through the 7th. They're performing in Ventura, in Santa Cruz, and Menlo Park twice, at the resort in Reno, Nevada, and then back in Sacramento, California. So just in case, if you're a Femmes fan, you can see them. Also, Bon Jovi has announced his tour dates for 2026 summer concerts. And, you know, I'm just trying to be a decent human being here. He'll be at Madison Square Garden from July 7th through the 19th for 6 different shows. I want to suggest, don't waste your time or money. That's a lot of money you're going to waste for a guy that can't sing. And he doesn't play his real songs. He doesn't play enough of them. He plays way too many of the new shit. Plus, he doesn't sound good anymore. He is going to UK and Ireland. So, you know, 2 in the UK, 1 in Cork Park there in Ireland. But again, you want to reminisce and all that, I suggest you go to YouTube and catch an old show with Richie Zambora and when he sounded good. But I'm just trying to save you a little money. Not that I'm a concert expert, not a financial expert, not a betting expert. I mean, I'm not an expert in anything. I don't know anything. I know nothing. I don't know about anything. Can't tell you about anything. Can't tell you about anything that could go from 16,000 to 116,000. Yeah. I wouldn't know anything about that kind of stuff. Soldier of God says, let's go Heat. The Dolphins are pathetic. Big O, let's rally behind Miami Heat and Florida Panthers. The Dolphins are a losing franchise stuck in mud forever, especially as long as Ross owns the team. Very true, but it doesn't mean I won't stop rooting. So, you know, Devin Jordan likes Tracy Ellis. You seen that ass, huh? Yeah, Tracy Ellis has got some junk in the trunk. Okay? Tracy Ellis has got that bootay. You know what I'm saying? That serious bootay. Like, that's Tracy Ellis Ross. It's like one of the hottest women on the planet that people don't know is Hillary Duff. Yes, sir.
Shams Charania just sent out Heat's guard Terry Rozier and Trailblazer coach Chauncey Billups will not be paid while on leave of absence. I don't know how this affects anything, but that just came out.
Well, that there's going to be something. The Heater's going to get a break out of this somehow or some way. It's like Ira said, you'll get some kind of compensatory pick or something, or they'll get some kind of tax break or something. I don't know, but yeah, they're going to get some kind of a break. But much more important topic, Hillary Duff. Much more important topic. Hillary Duff is probably one of the most underrated babes on the planet right now. And if you don't believe me, go check for yourself. You're going to go, wow, I didn't know. It's like that. It's like that's the Tracy Ross thing. You look at her, decent looking woman, but woo, doggy. The body is slamming. And it's kind of like the same thing with Hillary Duff. Yeah, good looking woman. And then you look from here down and you go, woo. Crazy stuff. That's just kind of the way it goes. That's life. Again, I am not a female anatomy expert. What would I know? I mean, I don't know these things. I've it's not like I scouted it or watched it or saw it already or something. I'm guessing. That's what I do with all this stuff. I just guess. I throw things out there, hope it sticks, and and once in a while it does. That's all. All right. It's, it's just one of those deals. What else do we have? By the way, the Broncos are signing Mercedes Lewis, the tight end. Damn. Okay. Wow. All right. Aiden Hutchinson's deal, by the way, includes a $29 million injury guarantee in 2029 that fully guarantees a year early in March 28. So Hutchinson is now signed for 6 years and for practical purposes has the security of knowing that he'll be there 5 years at least. It's a extension of 4 years, $180 million, $141 million total in guarantees, the most money ever guaranteed for a non-quarterback. Sean Stanley, were you going to say something?
Yeah, Shams added a little bit more, saying that both their paychecks are expected to be withheld and placed in escrow pending the outcome of the FBI cases.
Right. So they keep paying the escrow, so it builds just in case. And if they're found guilty, then the team will get the money. If they're found innocent, the player will get the money. That's kind of what it goes. I get it. Yeah, they have to do that. The players' union is protecting the players. And that makes sense. You got it. You're innocent until found guilty. You know what I'm saying? Even though it looks like he's pretty guilty or whatever, we still have to, they have to prove it. You know what I mean? After all the stuff they thought they said they had on Diddy, and then they tried to make it a RICO case, they failed, right? He was going to serve some time, but not the time that they really wanted him to serve. So, let's see how it all plays out. That's kind of the way we got to look at it, man. Let's see how it all plays out, ladies and gentlemen. That's all. What else? Big O, we still consider you an accomplished advisor, both financial and females. Let's see. Definitely putting on a Florida Panthers shirt on my granddaughter, Riley. There you go. Don't put a Dolphin shirt on. Don't do that to the poor girl. You know what I'm saying? PNW Bull just sent me a super chat. He goes, I looked up Hillary Duff. My apologies for ever questioning what you said on sports, crypto, or anything else. I now follow and study you closely. You found out, huh? Hillary Duff, huh? You're like, what? Like, what? Like, what? Like, there aren't a lot of women that are, high-powered like Hillary Duff. And you just would not think about that. Because your mind, if you forgot all about her and her existence, you're just thinking about, girly films or Disney or whatever it is. And then you haven't watched her develop. And you see her now, and see PNW Bull was like, holy crap. He had to send in a super chat. Oh, man. Oh, man. That is awesome. Isn't it funny when you find out something you didn't know or didn't realize? That's how it goes, man. You get excited in life, and sometimes things happen and you just don't know. And you're like, wait a minute. It changes your world. Look at Bill Belichick. Look at Bill Belichick right now. The man is 75, and now he's thinking, did you know that Bruno Mars and Belichick have a lot in common? Did you know that, Sean? Did you know that Belichick is doing Bruno Mars right now? Huh? You're trying to figure out that analogy, aren't you? Huh? You're trying to figure out that analogy, aren't you? I can see Belichick right now, and he is Bruno Maring in the house. He's looking at his babe, and he's saying, because your sex takes me to paradise, because your sex takes me to paradise. See what I mean? Because he was coaching this entire time with Tom Brady, and he was locked out of heaven. And now he's got Jordan, and her sex takes him to paradise, and his sex takes him to paradise, and she can do whatever she wants. There's no doubt in my mind that Bill Belichick, up until now, never really got laid. Whatever he was having, it wasn't sex. Whatever he's having now, it's paradise. It's paradise. That's it. It's so dirty, 75 and 25, because you make me feel like I've been locked out of heaven. You know what I mean? That's all. He's been locked out of heaven. But he doesn't care. He just doesn't care if he ruins the UNC program. He doesn't care if he ruins his reputation. He doesn't care if you don't think he can coach, because her sex takes him to paradise, and his sex takes him to paradise. So there you go. Bill Belichick is Bruno Mars. Sex is a liberating thing. You should try it sometime. It helps out. It helps out in life. A little sex. Ooh, we're at 11,741. 111,731. I like it. There's a nice little dip going on. Take advantage. Big O, by the way, my granddaughter Riley was just born at 9:33. Please give her and mom Corey a shout out. Congratulations, Corey. You are awesome. Bringing a beautiful child into the world. That is awesome. And congratulations, Riley. Welcome aboard. And Dad Dean, enjoy yourself, my friend. Congratulations to the entire family. It's a beautiful day, man. That is awesome. That is very cool. Very cool. Very cool. Let's see. Palenzuela said, you had me lost there for a second, but now I get it. Bruno Mars reference. You're a little slow, Alexis. I get it, but just hang in there. Eventually, you'll catch up to the rest of us. It's all good. Don't worry about it. Hang in there, kid. You'll catch up to us. It's all good. Oh man, what else do we have to talk about in the world of sports? Don't forget, you can make a donation to the show. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. You can make a Bitcoin, Ethereum, Chainlink, or even Solana donation too. And we always appreciate that immensely. Thank you. We love the super chats, but YouTube takes 30%. So that's why we always encourage Cash App or Venmo. And you can send in your questions, comments, and insults, which we know you guys love to send in the insults. And we don't mind. It's all right. The insults are some kind of love, I guess, right? I mean, that's kind of the way I would look at it. Libido can be a wonderful thing. Well, Belichick just found out he had one. So, congratulations to him. I mean, usually if you're 75 and a 25-year-old comes around, someone's going to get that'll get the libido going. That'll get him the libido going right there. That's for damn sure. Okay. Any breaking news here? Man, what's gone on in Jamaica, and now I'm sure Cuba's going through it, and our friends in the Bahamas are going to go through it tonight. And the Bahamas are a very low-lying area. Obviously, Cuba, a very poor country, and those people don't have a pot to piss in as it is, and they don't live in very good, situations. So they've got to go through this brutal storm. And then Jamaica, my God, there was just they didn't get a break. They just didn't get a break. It would have been nice if it would have gone around the damn island or something, but they just did not get a break. I think the only people that I guess got somewhat of a break, if you were on the far east side of the island, you didn't get like the worst of it, I'm sure you got a lot of crap, but maybe on the far right side of the island, it wasn't nearly as bad as it was on the west side. But man, from the middle to the west, I'm sure the pictures that are going to come out, I've seen some of it, but I'm sure we'll get to see a lot more, and the destruction was probably really, really, really bad. Yeah. Oh, I'm sure Bill's got to take that Viagra. He's got to take some little blue pill, of course. The little fella probably needs a little help there, Who knows? She's probably going to, seriously, I mean, the man's probably going to, he will die happy, but he's probably going to die having sex. I mean, not that there's anything wrong with that, but yeah, it's just, what an odd couple. You know what I'm saying? What an odd couple. Crazy stuff. All right, folks, we are out of here. We appreciate all of you. We thank David Furones. You can check out that interview. We thank the great Sean Stanley. Tomorrow we will be back. We will have a short show tomorrow, and then we'll be back for the pre and the post-game show like we normally are. And then on Friday, we'll be at Acura, and we're going to be there at 11 a.m., not at 10. I'm going to sleep in a little bit extra because it is going to be a long day on Thursday, and we'll be planning for that. And then on Saturday, we're at the Fort Lauderdale United. And don't forget, you can get tickets. Sean, show them the billboard. You can use the QR code. Visit our friends there at the Fort Lauderdale United. You can also purchase a kit, all kinds of stuff from the Fort Lauderdale United. So visit them. Use that QR code. You can get your tickets. Saturday, they will host Brooklyn FC. All right. And if you want to get your kits, shirts, hats, whatever, Fort Lauderdale United FC shop.com, and call them 954-241-0618. And we will see you all tomorrow. Same time, same place, same bat channel.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.